immortals, capable of mistakes. The journey's not here to be agonized upon.
Oh, welcome back, mere immortal lights. You have the two mere mortals here. You got one on the side.
Hey, Kyrin here.
And you got the monthly edition of the monthly goals. We got the February edition today. What we usually do is go back into the past. That's right. Look back a month from today in terms of our January goals in this particular instance, and then we look at our February goals as well. I'm going to dive right in because we are slightly late. We usually do these at 8:15 Australian Eastern Standard Time around the end of the month, beginning of the month. So
yeah, that was partly my fault.
January 2026, let's get straight into it. There's 6 goals that I put down, 3 that I had from a fitness perspective. Now, my reminder internally to myself is annual goals were relatively synced up from what I really wanted to do, and then some weren't. So a lot of these monthly goals, a lot of the annual goals have been either completed or I've kind of stopped them all together. And so a lot of these are kind of congregating with like the same ones. So a lot of this is going to be kind of repetitive, but it's towards a much larger goals. And I've talked about that in the past. So we've got 3 in the fitness hammer drops following the running breakdown plan. So look, I'll say I did follow the breakdown plan. 168 kilometers of running in January.
Very nice.
So there's a lot of time on the feet, which is most important to me, I think, at this point. As Kyrin pointed out in a run that we did this morning, my concern is going to be more around, can I get the distance of the marathon in the one go, as opposed to maybe some of the other things. So we'll see what the hell happens there. But I did follow through the plan, so I like that. Separating the gym workout with the runs more, so more AM, PM shifts to maximize the efforts on the weights. Look, I'll say that I did do this, but it was kind of, I did separate it, and then at times didn't like that I was separating it. Maybe because it was warm still, and so running in the PM, which really is like a 2 o'clock time slot for me, still felt too hot. And on a day that I had a 6 kilometer run or an 8 kilometer run, I was more apprehensive to do the run at 2 p.m. than if I just taken the time to do it in the morning as well. So it did allow for more focused gym workouts though.
I gotta say, so I've been watching a couple of running videos.
Okay, yep.
The amount of people bitching as soon as the video started about the Valencia marathon, and it's like, it's gonna be hot. I've never trained in these conditions before. And I'm like, you're running a marathon, which is a hard thing to do. You're running it fast.
Yep.
Why is it so much extra harder just to run when it's a little bit hotter?
Well,
I don't understand.
That's a very, very interesting thing, because I did. Let me finish this, and I'll talk about it in just a moment. But I actually was looking into the science of this, because I was also bitching as I was going through the last sort of week. The January marathon documentation, so pursued that, continued sort of pumping that out, cool. Making time for it. Attended one networking event this month. I did very much at the very end of the month, which was the AI Run Club in the morning. So I did that on literally the 31st. Thank goodness for that. And the last 2 was setting each morning the intention of the day and sitting with it for a minute. Now, again, supported by AI. The way that I do it is I take in my notes for the day and the day prior, and it helps me kind of congregate what the intention for the day is for the day to come. Been enjoying that. That's been an easier way to focus on, I guess, the key priorities for the day, as opposed to just having like a lot of loose ends around, I've got to do that, I've got to do that. It was an easier way to set the intention, which I'll definitely, it's default set up now because it's just part of my prompt. And the last one was preparation steps up on dad squared mode. So there was a lot of, in our room now, there's a lot of things that have been completed out now in preparation for baby number 2 that's coming along. So, those are the January goals. So the one I'll point out about the running, 2 different AI tools I use here. So I ran on Wednesday. I went for a run in the day, and it was hot. And I finished the run, and I was like, man, I felt like tired, like really tired from this run. And the prompt that I put the 2 exact same prompts into both Google and ChatGPT. And the Google one first told me the difference between a 31-degree run and a 21-degree run. And both of them were something like, explain to me in first principles in physics the difference between why a 31-degree run is harder than a 21-degree run, and like why, and like what are the basis. Now Google's AI gave me 15 to 20% harder. So it is 15 to 20% harder to run at a 31-degree, 21 if everything else is exactly the same, no other variables. And it gave me the kind of like mathematics behind it, giving all the physics, blah, blah. I put the exact same prompt in ChatGPT.
Yeah.
ChatGPT's answer, 2%. And I was like, okay, this is like very different.
That's
so then I then put in what the answer from Google's one to ChatGPT. And I was like, okay,
is this right?
why is this so? What's the discrepancy here? And then it kind of spat out something where it was like, oh, we're kind of saying the same thing, but slightly differentiation. Anyways, what I'm using kind of both those combinations. Well, the result was it was sort of saying around 6% is like by the numbers of like your pace, your effort, the amount of energy that it takes to go through like a system like that, and the amount of sweat and blah, 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 blah. So what I landed on is like, let's just say it's about 5% more difficult to run a 31-degree weather than a 21-degree weather. So, when they say it's a hot marathon and let's just say it's 10 degrees more than what you'd expect, it's about a 5% extra increase. And that's not that much. That's not that much, right?
Yeah.
I feel like people complain about it like it's 20% harder. Like it's not. It's a little bit harder. But it's not that distinctly harder. So yes, it was interesting. I literally was looking that up this week. So anyways, that's our January goals. Kyrin, how'd you go with yours?
Mine was pretty good. Cole was just saying the stream died, but then he says never mind. So I think it's still good. So I had a whole bunch here. I'm going to say I did maybe half. About half. So one time I did do, stop being a hesitator, be a dater. Did do that.
You did do that? Didn't? Yeah,
I did.
Yep.
Organised the Aussie Day barbecue.
Yep.
I'd say like the DCAing and doing more research on interesting things, and then also like what the nerds are doing. Still need to lean into that a little bit more. Sign up for real for the marathon, make a prep. I did do that. I did like these work exercises in the book and cleaning up the house. Had the courageous convo I've been idling on. Definitely honed in on the diet, and I'd say unsubscribing. Now, that was half of them.
Okay.
So the other half, I did not go to the 4 art exhibits. I did not practice learnings from the crucial conversations, partly because I didn't have any that were really front of mind.
Sure.
Necessary. I did not do a new round of one-arm handstand recordings. I did not do any apartment research, Kangaroo Point. I did not consolidate good habits, harness sexual energy, and I did not lean into spontaneous, unstructured thoughts. So I'm giving this month it was an okay one. I feel like a lot of those were stuff that I just put in there as well. Probably the one that I'm most disappointed I didn't do was go into the art exhibits.
Yeah, okay.
I did look into some things. Nothing really jumped out at me, to be honest. And that was where it's like, I probably need to do the next level of research of like really, boots on the ground, or starting to like look at posters, or go into TikTok and see like, Brisbane art exhibits or things like that. So, there was ones I could have gone to, should have gone to, want to go to, the Banksy one in particular. I just didn't get around to it.
Just wondered, we talk about like half the time in the podcast, and obviously we are supported by people sending through Satoshis. You say DCAing as well. Has your DCAing and your goals around that changed in any way, shape or form with the current like kind of expected pullback on most of the coins out there and stuff like that?
Well, depends who you listen to.
Exactly. Yeah. Like so for context for people, I just saw bitty Australian prices is now below 110. So it's dropped another. And I said this to you about like I think it's going to drop to 80. You mentioned we were taking the call. Hey, either it was going to go to 160 or it's going to go down to 80. And my call was like, hey, this is going down to 80. So now it's dropping.
So 80 would be what, 50,000 US, something like
correct.
that.
Yeah. So, but immaterial of that, because I think long term this is a completely different conversation. But just the DCAing, has it changed anything at all of your
no? It's honestly,
or does it make it even more? Do you step it up? Like, has that changed at all with you?
No. I suppose like the one big thing is how do you? I'm having to like move from one thing to another, I guess. Yeah. And normally I'm like a buy and holder.
When you say move from one another, you're talking like, so for, I think I understand it, but it's like, you're not necessarily saying I'm using fiat money to go buy, you're actually moving assets from somewhere else.
Yes, correct. Yes, so it's already in like crypto, in the crypto ecosphere. So some of it's stable coins. Some of it's just like other things that I've bought over the years. Look, I gotta admit, like, one thing I've noticed about myself is I tend to accumulate too much, and then I'd go, why the fuck have I got so many things? I need to reduce this down.
Yep.
I did that with stocks. And I'd go through these periods where I'd be like, what the fuck? Why do I have so many?
Yeah.
Sell a bunch off. I usually think it's a good, smart idea when I do that.
Sure. Yeah.
I just, there's too many things. I can't keep track of them. And one thing I do worry about is that with the stocks portfolio over time, this was mostly a waste of time. I should have just held on to like Vanguard.
Yeah, exactly.
And that would have been better.
Yeah.
The difference with this is like I've spent way more time research, so I have a lot more conviction on the things I'm buying. But then I look at some of the stuff and I'm like, why the fuck did I buy this? Like, I've got zero conviction on this.
Sure, yeah. I mean, I've had this before, I guess, with something like a Cardano. Let's just say, apart from like a long time ago when we talked about Cardano or ADA specifically, I think there was a undercurrent of value and realization. And when I was looking at, and when I reflect on it now, I'm a little bit like,
no,
that's a bit of a, that was a bit of, I went, not that I'm saying that it's wrong. I'm just saying, man, I went over the top on that when I probably shouldn't have.
Me too, absolutely. So, that's a great example of one where I go, okay, I did a bunch of research. I thought I knew things, but now I've learnt more about protocol networks. Actually, we'll be talking about that very shortly in this book, in the next episode. So dollar cost averaging is simply just a way of moving into
de-risking, I guess.
Yeah, and I guess like you could then go like, Kyrin, how much conviction do you have on these new things you're putting in? And is this as much as you felt like you had in the others? I hope over time I'm just getting better at honing in on things. Yeah. But yeah, we'll see. It could be in a year or two's time and go like, Kyrin, you're looking into these AI things, and to be specific, it's like things related to X402. And I could go, I didn't. That's what I worry about. It'd be like, I didn't know as much as I thought I did. But
yeah. Nah, I mean, hindsight's always devilish bitch. All right, February 2026 goals.
Yep.
Let's go straight into it.
Last one was just support for the podcast and stuff. I'll probably I'll get around to that. Tallying all the boosts and streams up at some point.
Yep.
But thank you everyone who has.
And we do call it out from every sort of meandering session that we do as well. So I guess that support's called out there.
Yeah, maybe I should give a try of chucking that into ChatGPT or something and just asking it to do it for me. Might work.
Honestly, that probably would work.
Yeah. That's probably the sort of thing it's good for.
Yeah. I don't know if you've played with Moltbot or anything like that.
We'll get onto that.
Not even Moltbot anymore. But anyways, February 2026 goals. I've got 6. One is 3 in the fitness, 1 in the mind, 2 in the soul. 3 in the fitness is it's long runs that will make the long run doable. So do it. And my little notes that I said on the side is just this is simple, right? It's simple, but sometimes not easy. It's just longer runs that need to be done, kind of like no matter what. Simple but not easy. I've been talking 170-ish, 169 point something kilometers that I did in January. But now, actually, this is like, I did 4 10 kilometers. And it was all right at the start of the month. But besides those 4 10 kilometers, everything else was shorter distances. There was like a lot of days where I would do 3.4 kilometers, 5 kilometers, 5 kilometers, 5 kilometers, 6 kilometers, 5 kilometers. And while good, don't get me wrong, I'm glad I'm doing that. I think I need to really go, yes, but for this endeavor that I'm trying to do, it's better a 10, nothing, 10, nothing, 15, nothing, 20, something to that effect. So it's more about the long runs this month. 2, continue to hit my body weight ratio on the load weight. So I haven't done anything like this for a while, but I'm aiming to decrease by 2 kilos this month with more volume of running. Now, interestingly enough, it's not going to be, I'm not putting anything for this particular goal on food per se. I'm not really changing my food intake. I think it's just going to come purely through the extra running. So again, I did 169 kilometers. By my plan, I'll be almost itching 200 kilometers in the February. That's even with the reduced dates too. So yeah, if I hit that, it's just more calories that I'm expending and I'm eating about the same thing. So, as of this morning, I checked, I was 88.85 kilos this morning.
Okay.
So I think getting to 86 won't be difficult, but what's going to be interesting is continuing to hit that body weight ratio of my 3 main lifts without it. My squat has suffered 5%. Just say, yeah, about 5%. My bench is exactly the same. I haven't lost any strength on it. Deadlifts, really lost a lot of strength on that. I've also not been doing any deadlifts, so makes sense.
Yeah.
3, continue the marathon series with 4 more episodes. So I've got a couple of them already recorded and try and do also the mere mortals in motion as it goes. Again, these are easy for my own sake, nice to record for a perspective to look back on. So those ones that I'm just going to continue to do. I'm going to try and attend 2 networking events this month. I know there's one of that AI project management one, so that's probably going to be one. And I'll find something else in the month as well that I want to do.
Bitcoin meetup on Thursday. There's a...
Are those weekly or they're just...
No, there's a monthly.
Once a month. Yep. So something, and again, I'm not putting a specific on what the networking is to be, just getting out and talking. Again, I'll shout about that AI social run club on the Saturday mornings. I think they do it once a month or maybe once a fortnight. It was really nice. The host wasn't there this particular time around. There was a couple of other people. And it was really nice. My wife picked me up and I was like, oh man, I wish I could stay here for a couple more minutes because we were talking about some really fun things. A lot of them, people who go their own businesses and it's around how they're applying AI and the problems with it and things like that. And very, very interesting. So yeah, something like that. Or otherwise, I love it. The last 2 is getting back on the walks. So interestingly enough, I actually use my time, use some walks as a time to think and unwind. I allow my mind to be open to thoughts that are floating around. No podcast, so that means music. But given that I've lost my headphones today, maybe it's going to be even easier to do this. I did this morning actually in my run. It was just like, don't have my headphones in. My mind was just wandering around thinking about things, mainly about my lost headphones. Last one, time to get back to daddy-daughter podcasts. So this is not something that I'm sharing publicly at all, and it's something that I was doing a year plus ago now. But it's just internal conversations that I have with my daughter. I sit it down basically in the same way that we're doing right now, and it's more of a documentation. She can now talk to an extent. She's probably going to be annoyed at the setup. It probably won't be with a full camera. It'll probably just be with my phone camera or something. And it's just a chance of putting a couple of questions to her, seeing if she answers, seeing how she participates. I could sell myself on all the various skill sets that could be building for her in terms of speaking and being in front of a camera and all these things. I think it's more just a case of it would be nice to reflect upon in years to come. I've started to reflect on some of the videos I did from when she was really, really young and just she wasn't talking, but just to see her and holding onto the camera or holding onto the microphone. I'm like, that's cool. So I think I can make a return to something like that.
Sure.
So those are the February 2026 goals. A lot of that's going to be dominated by running. Running.
Cool. Well, I'm kind of similar in a respect in that I have cut mine down to half. So I only did half last month. So I was like, all right, you know what? This is probably an indication. I should do less. So
here we go.
Here are mine. So I'm going to arrive early to events and be strategic in positioning. So I think I've been doing good in putting myself out there, and this is related to finding a partner, just being more social. I've been going to quite a few events, so I didn't go to any art ones last month, but I did go to 4 or 5 others, so that was pretty good. But what I've noticed is I went with a guy and then we need to leave early, or I went with my brother and then he needed to go pick up his girlfriend, or I'm going to the run club, but then when I get into the line, there's just random people in front of me or behind me, not people who are I'd really like to talk to her. So number one, just arrive earlier to things so that you've got time to chat with people.
Yep.
And then probably I should have said as well, stay late, arrive early and stay late. Just free that time up. Yep. And then
more surface area at the events.
Yep. And then just be strategic. So, if you're waiting in line to get a kombucha, wait that extra 5 seconds or speed up so that you're in front or behind someone who is worth talking to
Sure.
or you want to talk to. So just small things like that. Want to do that, which also leads into another one, which is keep on topic with others and ask many questions. So I realized like, oh, okay, I'm good at like pretty good at like just general small talk now. I feel like that's a skill that I've developed over the years. And it's almost too good. And so I'm at the point where it's like, I'll be at a, let's say I was at the, it was like an economic one with some people from the gym, and it's about, you know, lifestyle, finances and things like that. And I would just be talking about sport or the weather or some other bullshit. I'd be at a crypto event and I would be talking not about crypto things, but about AI and Moltbot. And it's like, okay, stick on point. And then, you know, ask more questions from other people as well. Finances, there's this guy called Zeneca. He's got a newsletter Substack thing. I want to actually go through that. I think he's got some good, just general market / financial learnings, which would be good from him.
Okay. Yep.
And then I've written here, trim non-belief assets. So just
and that's Zeneca with a Z?
Yes, correct. Yeah. No excuse, 100-kilometer run month. So already ticked off 10.5 Ks today. I am going to now, no excuses, but my normal schedule is a weekly thing. And so I'm planning on doing like kind of 25-kilometer weeks. And there's 4 weeks in the month. So that means like...
Exactly, yep.
Essentially, I'm going to probably miss out. Have I got this right? Or maybe I'll do this even quicker. Sunday. Oh, no, it should be fine. I should be able to do it. Okay, yeah, because today's the 1st. I thought today wasn't the 1st, and so I was like, I might be doing the last 10 kilometers on the 1st of March. No. But okay, no, this should be good.
I think this is the February where people were saying that, like, if you look at it from a calendar perspective, it's like perfectly the February.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Fill in, it was a mini workbook from that event that I had, which is it's related to like 10-year goals. It's really like an investigation into yourself and like, hey, is there anything you're really avoiding? It's like asking yourself hard questions. There's a little mini workbook thing. So I want to fill in that and then reread Think and Grow Rich. That was kind of the plan last month. I just didn't actually get it. Anything related to like the going to Asia and moving houses pretty much just been pushed out 6 months. So for this one, I've just said make a proper send off for Brendan because he's heading off this month at the end of this month. For myself, I want to get sub 74 kg. I'm at 74 and a half at the moment. So I'm going to try and like just tuck that. I really don't have much more to lose, people. Like I'm like fucking dying.
Really lean. Yep.
I'm doing, I'm having to do things like, I think I'll probably have to like sauna to really like sweat it out.
Yeah.
I'm not doing any desserts for at least like the next 2 nights.
I ate 3.5 donuts last night.
Oh, jealous.
Yep.
Man.
Those like Brooklyn donuts, like super juicy, Biscoff.
Yeah. That sounds good.
Smash it down.
Yeah. But I do intend to swing back up after getting that, like, because I said like I'm right at the limit, so
sure.
I want to just try and get under, and then I don't want to blow it out by putting on 3 kgs really quick.
Yeah.
And swing to no more than 75 and a half. And then the last one, Vibe Code and Experimental X402 or base app. So got a couple of thoughts, things that are going around. I probably won't do the full Moltbot thing, but
so I did try it. I did
like.
download it. So this is the interesting things for people who say Moltbot, Moltbot, and what's the new name of it?
What's wrong with Moltbot?
It's already someone stole the X account of Moltbot and they created a coin. So they hacked into it. They created a coin, made $60 million, and so the person had to go and change it once more time. So it's actually called.
Whoopsie.
We'll see what's it called. Jeez,
that's a pretty good indication of what I have learnt from it, which is, man, you better have a good security setup.
So this is the thing. So I went to
and they obviously don't.
I went to install it in my PC, which is a Microsoft PC, and it actually blocked it. because of some of the security calls behind it. Me and my dad looked into it, like a little bit more into the actual code, and like that's why it runs much easier in a Linux base or on the Apple Macs that people end up getting with it, because it's a little bit looser and more accustomed to that. But we're both looking at the security ports behind it, and it is just wide open security ports with it. What it means is, like, for those people who probably haven't like played around with this before, is like it's fine if you open it up to use an app that has relative encryption in it anyway, so you're probably pretty protected. But the problem is when you started to use like open sites, let's just say, the ease of someone hacking into your system would be ridiculously easy. I don't know I hope people don't do this at home, please me immortalize, but don't connect to like a public Wi-Fi and then go onto your banking apps. Don't do that. Like hacking a public Wi-Fi to then extract data is fairly simplistic, especially if you're doing it in like European countries. If you do that, that's how people get all their Instagrams hacked and stuff like that. What usually happens if you go to Europe, especially some of the more dodgier countries, people connect into Wi-Fi's, go into social media, and that's how they drain all of your information. They take it. Like, it's so often I've seen people go over to Turkey and then come back and be like, my account's been hacked. It's very easy to do that. It's the equivalent of that, but obviously you're giving them even more private access for things in your computers and stuff like that. So if you don't know, if I say security ports and how to block security ports to actually do certain things, I kind of know, but not really. I kind of go, be super careful. Like I think some people like Simon Beard, if you know who it is, the guy who created Culture Kings, or like grew Culture Kings, he posted up a thing saying, hey, Clawbot and Moltbot is the next big thing. I'm using it, I'm running and giving it all the access. And a lot of people in the comments, now he's kind of like really tech frontier guy. Like he really enjoys all sorts of stuff. And there's so many people in the comments being like, yeah, but have you considered the security of this and security of that? And this particular person, it's like he's an influential person with a lot of money going, like, use it. It doesn't matter. Like, just, you have to break it. And you've made a video being like, people talking about security, but that's the point. Like, you have to really push the boundaries. I think my cautious side goes, yes, but if your actual retardation allows you to do this and you open up, you are in for a world of pain.
Sure.
For the potential of that. So, yeah, be very careful.
Nice.
Play with it, but play with it safely, I'd say. If you're
I don't intend to use that. I'd just use something that's all on device, essentially. That's my plan.
Yep. I don't know if there's any other comments for the monthly goals.
Cole was asking, when are we getting rich from Clawbot? Maybe March.
Wait, what?
When are we getting rich from Clawbot? And then he questions, maybe in March. I don't think so. At least I'm not planning on it.
Yeah,
I don't know
it's an odd. Yeah, I don't see myself leveraging the use of Clawbot. So I don't know if anyone's really looked at the economics behind. There's this big conversation about abundance, and this is probably something separate that we have to talk about because it's so much longer. But the actual economics of abundance and the whole conversation of, okay, if you got whatever agents, AIs, insert here any technology, if it displaces a large amount of people from their work, and then you go, okay, yeah, and then that was going to create abundance for everyone and high economic turnover. Kind of the question is, yeah, but how? How does that happen? Because if by default, if you don't do anything, take a random corporation, I'll say Hastings Deerings or whatever, unless they are enforced in any particular way, then the subset of people who remain will just consume all the money, and the people who are displaced don't get any of that money. And there was the CEO of Lemonade, which is kind of like an AI insurance company over in the US, and Peter Diamandis, they put together, it's like one of the known economic potentials, which is Mosaic, with the AI in the middle, like AI Mosaic. And that one describes how might you change economies so that in the displacement of humans, you take the wins and efficiencies to be able to then redistribute that across humanity. So it's like affordable and proper. When I hear the conversations of use Clawbot, Moltbot, insert any agent so we can become rich and do that, that to me goes, man, that's danger signs on, yes, you can have a very short few people that will make a lot of money, but you're going to like stuff up a lot of the rest of humanity. I think if we go down that path or venture, like we got some giant problems that's going to come in terms of the disparity between the ones who have and don't. So I've only looked at it very briefly about the Mosaic ecosystem. I think it's a conversation around how to do universal servicing, like universal basic services, UBS. I think it's a very interesting concept. I wonder how much that'll get discussed over the next couple of years. But governments are so far behind; it's out of control. But by March, no, I don't think I'll be getting rich off Moltbot.
I don't exactly understand why abundance comes into the picture, because let's just say like people get you find a thing, it's super efficient at what it does. What if people are just overpaid already? Like it's not creating abundance. It's just creating less waste, for example.
Well, I think the example is like, imagine. I think it's more if you've got what's a company as an example? Spotify. Let's just take Spotify. And Spotify, sometimes runs on negatives. I don't know if they're back on profits now or whatnot. But if they manage to displace 99.9% of their staff, and so they've got 5 people and everything else is just running on agents, then sure, they become profitable all of a sudden, and maybe everything else in the stack makes it more efficient, and so they're running at a ridiculous profit. The conversation, I guess, that they were sort of proposing is, okay, if this is all of a sudden a ridiculously revenue-generating company and everything becomes our way, okay, then you could distribute this out for abundance for people. And like in the example of the Mosaic one, at the very least, the universal basic income or services was to make it the equivalent of people of a low to mid socioeconomic status. So it wasn't, everyone's fucking got all the money in the world. Maybe there's other articulations of it in the future that's way higher, but it's not like everyone's fucking filthy rich. Example. I don't know. This one's one of those where I'm interested, but I haven't.
Let's do it next week.
Yeah, I haven't looked into it enough. It'd be nice to talk about it in a more just generalistic way.
I'm already starting to think the word abundance that's becoming my new pivot / manifesting / it's a word which I think already sounds like it's being abused.
I think that's a too generalized a term to mean much.
Fitness stuff. So I've ticked off a couple more points recently. My plan for this month is I really hope to get a whole bunch of calisthenic stuff. So I'd love to get 60 dips in a row, unbroken, 80 push-ups, 100 like squat jumps, and 60-second L-sit. I think those are all doable, and I'd love to tick them off so I can stop working on them. And that's why I'm kind of like getting lean to then be able to, like, when I'm on the upswing of actually like eating and actually having a bit more energy, hoping to tick those off. I'd really love to get the 40 pull-ups, but I don't even in a month's time, I'm like, oh, that's going to be really hard. I'm getting 30 on a goodish day. So that's still like fucking 10 off, man. And it's just...
That's a lot.
That's a lot. It's a lot.
It's like a square law almost. It's like 30, like, 20 to 30 is difficult, but then it's like as difficult as going from 30 to 32.
Yeah. So I'm planning on... I'll still keep working on them, but if I can tick off all those other ones, that'll leave me more time for rowing / running. And also I might start doing like a daily pull-up thing. Because at the moment I'm doing three a week, like 3 sessions a week. And I'll still probably keep like a big pull-up type thing. I'll start experimenting with stuff, doing more of those 3-minute challenges that we used to do. Doing more like pyramid scaling, probably do some weighted ones. I don't know. Just try and fucking do as much as I can. So I really want to tick it off while I'm like lean. Yeah. It's getting back down to here again. It's going to be just be annoying. But yeah, rowing's going good. Running
is progressing well.
Yeah. I'm feeling really good. Handstands also going good. Doing well.
No, I think fitness-wise for myself, everything's hitting, like, I'm doing everything. I wouldn't say, if I had to give like a score out of 10, I think everything's like an 8 out of 10 at the moment. Everything's progressing. I'm getting in and I'm being able to do all of my various trainings. Not that every single training is hitting like top spots. And I think for a lot of it, it feels like it's either like maintenance plus 2%, I guess I'd say. So I'm not necessarily pushing it too difficult at the gym and any like upper body, lower body, arms, whatever. It's all very much just getting the movement in, going home, going through the steps, which is okay. So I think then it allows me to continue increasing the kilometers and the running. So for now, and I've already called it out. Once the marathon and this year goes by, I can very much see myself like, okay, pulling back on that amount of running to do other things.
Yeah.
But I have started to also, this just last week, introduce more athletic type training in preparation for the next year's goal of tennis. So what that means is just very much like some of the lifting movements that I do are more functionally athletic than it is just, and by just direct example, rather than say, even though I do dumbbell curls, but the example is just rather than a dumbbell curl, it might be like a landmine twist. Maybe like rather than a sit up, it's a landmine twist, which is just barbell in front of you with a bit of weight and you're kind of twisting it around. Same with rather than a sit up, maybe it's what do you even call it? Like a leaning on my side with my leg up on a bench and the other one below the bench, kind of just lifting the leg up and down.
Like Scandinavian.
Yeah, I think it's a Scandinavian one. So it's just movements like that where it's more athletically minded, if you will, more power, explosiveness as well that I want to introduce. So all that sort of stuff. I think straight away I'm introducing that a lot more now. And I think that'll support the running, and it's starting to shift, again, some of my training to be a little bit funner. So I was just getting into a deep routine that I'm like, okay, cool, time to change it up a little bit.
Yeah.
So
is there any info out there about raw dog marathons? As in like no water,
no
food, no music, no talking.
No.
Just run?
No, I haven't.
I haven't. That's going through my mind.
That might be the world first.
Because I did that 10Ks there relatively easy with no water. And I'm like, I wonder if it's doable.
We'll see it. We'll have to see. All right, Memorialize, we might leave it there. I hope you're well. If you've been listening to the monthly goals, again, if you want to share your goals as well, feel free to do so here. Discord, just don't share that you're a developer looking for work.
No, you can.
You can, but you might
get roasted.
That's right. Otherwise, be well. Take care. Memorialize, one out.
Kyrin out.
Ciao.
Bye.